Science jerks. Science jerks. Science jerks. The rate of change in acceleration of science. Science
Welcome to the
jerks.
Science Jerks. I'm your host, Dave Chacho. With me, as always, is your other host, Robert Chan.
Hi.
And we're back for another week of, what are we here for? Science. I have to ramp myself up to this. I forget. When I'm not here.
You've been here for 45 minutes. You could have ramped up at any point during that time.
But now I'm ramped and excited, and we have a very special guest this week.
Jesus Christ, Lisa Curry.
Lisa.
How you doing, Lisa?
Thank you. I'm good. I'm good.
Just ignore that guy. Just talk to me. Focus on me.
A stand-up comedian, writer, performer, improver, sort of. Some of these things.
Where do you perform?
I'm all over the place. My show dates are always on my website, which is lisacurry.net. Because some asshole
Who's got
has
lisacurry.com?
I don't know who has it. And it's probably Lisa Lampanelli. She probably is
Or
for when I die.
It could be a white woman who married into an Indian family and now is making a selection of spices.
Sure, but it's
Have
an
you
Irish
checked?
name. It's
Have
an
you
Irish
checked?
name. You know what? Somebody has owned it for at least 5 years, because that's how long that I've been trying to buy it, and there's nothing
Nothing there?
Oh.
There's nothing.
Did you ever email admin@lisacurry.com? Somebody email lisacurry.com and get this website for our friend.
I had a girl that was doing my website before that was a dum-dum, and she allegedly emailed and never heard back. So I hope I hope they fucking died. I hope that's why there's nothing there.
Okay, or you could just make an offer.
No, I'm liking this death angle.
I'm keeping .net, and I'm actually making it a thing now.
Light some
Everyone's
candles.
coming over to the .net side now.
Yeah.
Nice. Are you?
That's the future.
And I also own lisacurry.me, because I had that initially, and then everybody's like, no, get rid of that. That's dumb. And I was like, all right.
What country is that?
.me?
Yeah. Well, no, because that's what they do. Like all of those weird endings that you like use to like make like IT is like Italy, but
Right.
you know you put it into your URL and use like it something dot it.
Oh, I have no idea.
I mean it's Moldavia.
Yeah, there's a .tv ending that's
But I
off
think
of
it's-
some island. in
Like
the
there's a
Pacific.
Lisa Curry that's an Olympic athlete in Australia, and her website is lisacurry.com .e or .au. It's AU, I think, for
Or
Australia.
AUS or something. Or
Yeah.
AU. Maybe it's
So
AU.
it's like she still has the .com on there, but then it's the country after that.
Right.
Then,
Right.
You know,
Sorry.
it's all right. It's okay.
We're going to get you this website. By the end of this show,
This is my largest hardship.
Well, then you're doing okay.
Just check lisacurry.net. That's where everything's at. Or on my Facebook fan page. That's another place I post show dates, which is lisacurry.com.
like the fan page.
It's
people.
facebook.com /Lisa Curry. You're welcome.
All one word?
Yes.
Is there an E in your?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
welcome or you are welcome.
You're welcome. But no apostrophe.
Got it.
So it's
Right.
like you're like the conjunction, but without the, you know.
Okay.
Proper spelling,
Right.
no punctuation.
Mm-hmm.
I can live with that.
I'm the biggest jerk.
That's perfect. You are welcome to the Science Jerk.
Thank you.
Let's do some science.
Okay.
Holodeckology.
Star Trek was just a few years behind because the holodeck is now, people. Chacho here with Chan and our guest Lisa Curry.
Not buying it.
There is this is pretty awesome technology. Did you watch this video?
I did not watch this video.
Basically, it's like immersive 3D. You put on glasses and you're in a room, and other people from around the world in similar rooms with similar glasses suddenly appear before you.
What?
And so you can see them and interact, and
So
you
wait
can't
a
touch them, but you can point and you can
this-
look at models of things together.
This sounds a lot like where all the dicks are.
Crotches?
The chat roulette.
Where all the dicks are.
That-
20 different places came to mind when you said that. I was like, where all
internet?
the dicks are?
Okay. I'm curious what that list of 20 is, but where on that list does chat roulette fall?
You know, I've never been on chat roulette. So,
Do you know what chat roulette
I mean,
is?
yes. I'm familiar with it only because of the dick picture.
Me either.
thing.
Because of the
or at
dick
least
pictures.
my
Yes.
face hasn't been on chat roulette.
So what you're saying? What you're saying is that you could put on special glasses and then see a whole bunch of dicks in front of your
A
face.
bunch of people jacking off.
What
Suddenly
we're
you're in a
saying
bukkake, a worldwide bukkake.
Who gives a fuck about science when you can use it just for porn purposes
No,
exclusively?
That is what.
That's pretty much the end game of all scientific research.
No, seriously, can you like that would alter dick pics forever?
Yeah, or imagine,
It
you
would
know,
just
Because it wouldn't
fancier
be
dick
that.
pics.
It would be
how many people pay to see a webcam in some girl's bedroom and she takes off her clothes? This is 3D immersive webcam.
3D.
You appear in the room with
Yeah.
the
So
girl.
weird.
I've seen this already. It's called a Virtual Boy, and it died. Do you remember the Virtual Boy for
Virtual Boy died.
No, for the
That's so
it came
sad.
right a little after the Game Boy for the Nintendo. It was like a
No.
big old headset and had like red wireframe, kind of 3-dimensional business. Glasses in 3D. I'm not impressed.
I can't get into, I mean, like just plain 3D movies.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
What's
The
it- how is it
glasses
better?
take me out of it. I'm like, I have a giant thing on my face. This- And well,
See,
and
you're
the
talking to a
only-
bunch of people with glasses.
I've been wearing glasses
I'm
since I was
talking
8,
to two
so
people with glasses.
I am totally ready to live 100% in my holodeck. In other words, my basement painted white. This is pretty cool, though. I mean, watch the video. If you go to New Scientist, you can find the video.
Can we put the link on our website?
Yes, we can. That
Then go to our website.
doesn't necessarily mean we will, but we
So what is the?
can.
How will this be transferred to like people being able to use it in their home,
Well, for right now, it's
mass
more
produced for consumers?
It's more like a maybe a corporate tool or like for scientists.
Yeah, as
And
far as it just
you can-
sounds like you're doing teleconferencing.
It's like teleconferencing live, but also you can look at 3D holographic models and you can walk around them, you know, with the other person. The article starts out by talking about, you know, I could play hide and seek with my 4-year-old niece in a different country. We just bring up a forest or some sort of whatever. It's some room
That's weird.
like
That-
this
that-
that you could
that-
just walk around and there could be other people in other parts of the
That's
world.
so
That
nuts.
niece needs to learn how to play Halo because basically that looks like a shitty version of a first-person shooter.
Yeah, you could also probably make it a kick-ass version of Halo in this thing. I
Or
imagine.
we could just play Halo and save how many tens of thousands of dollars is a stupid.
Or
thing
you
to
could go
cost.
back to the 19th century and have adventures with
I've been
your
burnt
Android
too many times
friend.
by virtual reality. Is
I just
all
can't
I'm
wait.
saying.
I can't wait till Hollywood gets a hold of this and makes auditioning even more of a nightmare. No,
Jesus.
send us your hologram
Oh,
video.
that'd be great if you could go to the audition in your bedroom and just put on your glasses and walk into the audition.
Oh, that's so weird. I've had a couple auditions where they're like, "Film yourself acting out this scene," and I'm like, "No, this is awful. My roommates can hear me. This is the height of embarrassment."
And then in the middle of the scene, you realize I'm not wearing any pants.
Well, that is the nice thing about doing it in your room is that you can just like, yep, camera's just torso up. I don't have to wear pants. I can feel more comfortable where I am. Just kind of live in that space. Just don't jump up and down. But
Happy Easter, Mom and Dad.
does it say how much this thing costs?
No, it's not a commercial product yet, but it's being developed in Bauhaus University
Sure.
in Weimar, Germany.
Is it so? It's a room.
Is this something that
Bela Lugosi is dead.
child labor can get to work on? Like, can we
Okay.
get those kids in China cracking on this right now? That's
Yeah.
really my only question.
I imagine we could get them to work in our virtual holographic sweatshops, right?
Ooh.
Isn't that the goal of
Perfect.
all virtual reality?
I'm already looking forward to making holograph/Holocaust jokes.
Ooh. Oh, vast untapped market. Just
Hurry up, kids, and sew those
I call
holographic clothing.
Please, Gary, calling dibs on the Holocaust joke.
Pedagogy.
So since we're talking about video games, how about we talk about video games doing good?
Never happened.
That's what, see, 15, 20 years ago when we told our mothers, like, yeah, I want to play video games when I grow up, and video games are good for you, and they improve hand-eye coordination, and da-da-da-da. I'm like, no, they didn't. You just wanted to.
You know, Tetris though has been like they've done studies with Tetris on soldiers returning from war, and it helps to curb PTSD because so much of your brain is being taken up like solving puzzles. It can't stress out.
Cool.
It also makes you really good at packing.
Yeah.
Are you suggesting then that we should recruit our soldiers coming back from wars to just 24/7 play Tetris and work at UPS?
Yeah, you know what yeah, exactly. What I'm saying is the solution to all PTSD 100% is for them to come over here and we're like, hey man, we were going to give you a fat check, but here's an old school Nintendo. Play some Tetris.
We're just going to defund veterans' rights. Hear me out.
How do you apply for that job?
Listen, I understand.
I'm really screwed up, man. I just can't take it anymore. Give me the game controller.
I understand.
Go away.
Your friend's head exploded in front of you and you were holding his intestines in your hands. This will help. You'll forget about it in no time.
Just don't.
Instead of the intestine, just imagine an L piece.
Don't fit the L-shaped block over the other blocks.
Can you imagine the stress of a square block when you just need a long one?
So, University of California, San Diego, they've created an immersive first-person player video game to teach kids how to program Java, which is one of the most common programming languages these days. They found that given this game, within an hour of play, they'd mastered some of the basic components of Java and were able to creatively use those to construct new things. Basically, it's teaching them in a really effective way how to do an actual real-world thing.
So to play the game, you need to write little snippets of code, I guess?
Yeah. Basically, they're writing spells in Java. And it sounds like this is still pretty new. I don't know how far they've gotten. It's probably not, like a 40-hour game or anything like that. In the article, they only covered the first stage. Basically, they gave...
Well, I think it could be as long... It's like a game... There's no end point. It's kind of like an exploration game where you're a wizard and there's gnomes, and to play the game, you have to write code to hover over a river or something like that.
So it's kind of like Oregon Trail. I mean, more or less.
Kind of like that, except 1,000 times more awesome.
Less buffalo.
Because if you try and put that on your resume, like I kick ass at Oregon Trail, it's probably not going to be as effective as I can program in Java.
Unless you're trying to get a job at Oregon Trail.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
We're bonding
How
over
many
our
Oregon
weird
Trail
childhoods.
references can you recite to patrons?
Or if you're helping missionaries travel across the African veldt. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something that would involve a wagon at some point.
You have died of dysentery. You're 86th.
What they did, these researchers, they talked to the 30 computer scientists and identified 5 key characteristics to learning programming outside of a schoolroom setting. And oddly enough, that is exactly what makes a good video game.
It's exactly what makes a good teacher or classroom environment, is just like making a game out of the learning or just making it fun for people.
Make it engaging.
The kids want to keep playing, quote unquote, but really they're learning the skill as they go.
Yeah. This enchants me because I'm reading Diamond Age. Still reading it. I think I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
But, where it's, the story of a little girl who gets a magic book that essentially is the ultimate teacher. It gets feedback from the person reading it and teaches
interesting.
Through interaction. And now we're starting to understand how computers can be used in that way. It's because you play a video game to get feedback, you do a thing and then something happens and you get a reward for that, and you keep feeding that cycle. There's no reason why you can't take a science textbook and give someone information and they return that information and they get a reward, and you just go back and forth. And if you do it in such a way that they're not even really realizing they're learning, you get them moving along that path. And then
there's a ton of kids apps for tablets and smartphones and web apps. My niece and nephew are great at this stuff, where you just go and you pick colors and shapes, and there's a little cartoon that says yay or whatever.
I haven't really heard of anything though. They have those, but
I haven't heard of anything like this where you're
getting to the next level,
right?
Beyond shapes and colors. Awesome. I know my ABCs. Now what? Oh, fucking Doom? Okay.
Right, something
yeah.
that's like more
Doom is
interactive.
terrible. Yeah.
What did you learn from Doom?
I learned that shotgun's good on a flying
Doesn't
demon.
that, I mean, wouldn't, because I don't really know about this, but isn't Siri kind of a similar technology? Like I just got an iPhone last summer, and she starts to learn your voice after a while, which trips me out. Like, because she'll pronounce something like a friend's name incorrectly, and then the more I say it, you can hear it morphing, and it's so weird. I'm like, I'm
Really?
talking to my phone.
Cool. So you're in that scenario. You were like the game teaching, and Siri's like the 12-year-old girl.
I've been trying to teach her. I'm like, because I can't help it. Like, if I'm like, oh, Siri, I need directions or whatever, I'll be like, thank you. And so I was like, I trying to teach her to say you're welcome when I say thank you, because I think it'd be like funny. But I'm like, hey Siri, I was like, do me a favor, like when I say thank you, can you say you're welcome? And I talk to her like this, like a person,
Seriously?
like a person.
Do me a favor.
Yeah.
What did she say?
And she's like, I'm just doing my job, and I'm like, no, but I'm trying to teach you manners.
That's actually a pretty good. I don't have to do that for you, ma'am.
Laser Hoplology.
So Star Trek was a little bit behind. Chacho here with Chan and Lisa Curry. Ship-mounted laser cannons are now a thing.
They've been a thing, but they haven't been that effective. So
No.
far.
And they haven't actually been deployed, I don't think. Or maybe some test ones were deployed.
They were doing things with the pirates. It was like a super bright light, and I don't know if it was
Oh.
intended to like melt the ship or just like blind
Just
them.
annoy them. So they go,
Like, really? Okay, I'm putting on sunglasses now.
screw this, man.
We're just
I'm outta
gonna
here.
leave. Thanks.
Well, so the Navy is testing out this laser. It's about a centimeter in diameter, and it can go for miles. And it's like an invisible laser, and there's a video of that. They shoot it at this flying drone, and the thing just bursts into flames and falls into the ocean. Or they can shoot it at a ship's engine, and it'll start on fire.
I thought we already had this, because
Well-
we can shoot drones down.
Well, yeah, with bullets
with
or
missiles or bullets,
Oh.
but no, there's no real laser weapons in use. And one of the reasons is because it takes some time. You have to sort of
Power it up.
focus it on the
Oh, so it's like a big old
engine.
friggin' magnifying glass.
It's slowly
like
like
the ants aren't going to sit
bursts
there
into
and wait for you to
flames,
burn
like a
them.
little smoke comes out first. But they're testing. That's just the ones they're deploying right now. And they're actually going to put these in service in the Persian Gulf, because there's been dudes on boats that'll just fill the boat full of a C4 and try to run it into the side of a tanker or a giant aircraft carrier.
So why aren't they just shooting these things down?
Well,
Boats in the water.
here's
Why
the
don't they
thing,
just
like
train
shooting a-
sharks to eat pirates?
Oh shit!
Hello.
Why don't they just shoot
We're
sharks
missing-
out of a cannon?
Do you know? See, I absolutely do not want any of my tax dollars being spent on military applications unless they're inventing a shark gun. That would be fucking badass.
Oh man, they got a shark cannon. Let's
the
get
next
out of here.
State of the Union address. So we have this new technology.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
I know you're not big fans of the drones. But
We've trained sharks to just eat pirates.
I think you're going to like this.
Problem solved.
So-
Step one, we're going to invade Egypt. Okay, hold on.
Wait
It
for it.
sounds bad, but shark cannon.
North Korea has bombed Seoul, but we're going to drop a bunch of sharks on there.
We have irradiated a bunch of weasels. We will be deploying them by parachute.
One reason that this is awesome is because it costs like $1.50 to shoot down something, as opposed to a missile, which costs a few $1,000s.
Okay.
And
Yeah, wow.
even bullets cost hundreds of dollars if you're shooting a machine gun. And the other thing is, the next generation of this thing, called the free electron laser, if they get funding,
Yeah.
this is no joke. This free electron laser can shoot a hole through 20 feet of steel
See,
in
that's what
a
I'm
second.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want out of a laser. And I get that we've got to get to that point, and we've got to go through all these steps and hear these news stories about, oh, we've got a fancy laser that will boil a tea kettle of water in 4 minutes from 3 yards away. But I'm waiting. What I want is that next generation laser.
Can
The
you
ones that-
slice a
pow.
person in half?
With this thing, you could
Oh,
easily.
excellent.
Yes.
That is
And-
what I'm looking forward to. Just the YouTube clips of that. I'm fucking... Somebody commits suicide via laser.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I'm on board. I'm watching that immediately.
Somebody decides
Thumbs up.
like chop themselves into cubes.
Did you watch Faces of Death as a kid? Is this a
No.
thing?
Was
Because
that
I
a
feel
thing?
like that stopped being like awesome and moved into like creepy serial killer territory. Like, I wanna see somebody.
Was there a
cut in
laser
half.
decapitation in
Amazing.
Faces of Death?
No. I do have this really great coffee table book, if you will.
Okay,
called-
is it made out of human skin?
No,
just need to find
it's called Shots in the Dark, and it's just 150 pages of colored pictures of famous dead people, like famous
After they're
murders,
dead?
and yeah, either the crime scene or it has JFK on the autopsy table, which is really sad. But it has like a very close up shot of his head.
Question: isn't the rest of the book also very, very sad? You just have a thing for Democratic presidents from the '60s.
I have a weird obsession with JFK.
It's sadder when they're good looking.
Yeah, that's really what it is. Good God, this is a very revealing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Did we say that the show was the science church?
No, I don't think anybody was hurt, but this guy describes sort of like an aha moment. Carlos Hernandez at Jefferson Labs in Virginia.
I was hoping you were going to say Val Kilmer.
That's what I'm getting to. Like,
Yeah.
it was basically, it sounded like the scene from Real Genius where they turned on the laser and it shot through every building on campus. They were working on the laser and they didn't know that it could be as powerful as it was, and they turned it on and they're like, oh shit, went through 20 feet of steel. So
That's
yeah,
crazy.
that's what we have to look forward to.
A scary way to find out.
My kids were in that room.
Fucking take your daughter to work day will never be the same.
Why was I looking directly at the viewfinder?
It's time for a quiz.
It's time for a quiz. We are here, quiz masterless once again. Quiz meisterless, quiz massacressless. We're going solo, but we'll still make this work. We'll make this work.
All right.
We're going to answer 5 questions, and we've
The pressure's
been
on.
doing pretty poorly as of late, so there's no pressure to
Yeah.
meet any expectations. 'cause
No
we're-
pressure
I
to
would have
beat
eaten
the...
so many more vegetables today had I known. I had to use my brain.
Is that what it takes to answer these questions?
No.
Because I'm not willing to do it.
Yes, I am a vegetarian. I ain't up for shit. All right, question 1.
Question 1. What natural phenomenon kills more people than any other?
Holocaust.
Natural. Hey.
Is that a Holocaust rolling in?
Holograms aren't natural.
Better shut the windows, honey. There's a Holocaust coming.
I'm never being invited back. Natural phenomenon.
I'm thinking like cyclone,
I'm going to say
which is hurricane.
spontaneous combustion is my final answer.
It's going to be something that's, I'm like, earthquakes are
It's gotta
kind of
be-
few and far between. Like,
Earthquakes kill a lot of
Fires.
people, but they're like not as regular. So
and tsunamis, volcanoes, like you say, hurricane.
I think it's got to be hurricane / cyclone / whatever else
bear
they call them.
attacks.
Yeah, I would say hurricanes.
Yeah.
Is that our answer?
Right?
Yeah, I think hurricane probably, because that happens a lot.
There's a lot of dumb people living in hurricane areas that are like, I'm staying with my house. And you're like, all
I'm going to
right,
stay in my thatched hut.
But at least there's
surely.
less of them every year.
I'm just going to pray.
All right, hurricanes.
Let's see. Hurricane. Lightning.
Son of the bitch.
Really?
What?
We'll have FactBot figure something.
All right.
FactBot judgment, lightning is responsible for an average of 66 deaths a year, hurricanes, 133. But excess cold is responsible for more than 3 times both of those causes combined, so the science jerks and the blue box from the 80s are both equally wrong.
Question 2.
Question 2. What process forms drumlins, eskers, and cirques? Cirque
That's a
spelled
terrible
like,
question.
Spelled like Cirque du Soleil, but I don't know what those things are.
What process drumlins?
Drumlins,
I feel like
Eskers,
that's
and
a
Cirques.
that's a sand thing. Like finding
Drumlins,
it in a
Eskers,
desert.
and Cirques.
What process is that though? It's,
I was thinking
erosion.
I was thinking like water. Maybe it's erosion. Maybe it is erosion.
Let's say erosion because that's
All right,
something
let's
like
go with it.
Drumlins,
that makes
Eskers.
some things.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's say erosion. Glaciation.
balls.
Close.
That's kind of what I was going to
That's
say.
a form of erosion. That's not
Okay,
correct.
we're not doing so well.
Question 3. How many astronauts manned each Apollo flight?
Three.
Was it 3?
Three? I don't know. I feel like
I was just going to
3
guess
sounds right.
number out of my ass.
What were you going to guess?
I was going to say 12.
What number did you find in there?
Wait a minute.
'Cause
How many
wasn't
people do you think fit in a rocket? How big of a...
What about what was that one? What was the one? Oh,
What was
this
that one
is, I
space
sound
movie,
like
Apollo
such
13?
a fucking idiot right now. The
Space Cowboys? Or what was that one?
one
Is that
where
was
the
that what
one-
it's called with the old
Armageddon.
the
Armageddon.
one
Are you thinking
that
of
blew?
Armageddon?
No, not that
Armageddon?
piece of garbage. The spaceship that blew up. There was a bunch of people on there. There was
Challenger?
like, yeah, there was more than 3 people.
Yeah, there was
on
more
it.
than 3 on that.
Yeah,
but the Apollo was smaller than the Challenger.
Oh.
It was
That was a space shuttle, and this is...
Oh, okay.
We're talking like in the 60s and 70s.
Oh. Okay.
Like Apollo 13.
I feel like in
movie
Apollo
Apollo 13.
13, the movie, there was
I'm going to say 3.
3 sounds right.
3 sounds right because 2 is not enough. Because what if one of them like dies and then the other one's screwed?
Yeah.
So you would have to send 3 out.
Well, yeah,
That
because like if you want to get freaky up in space, you got to have three.
Right. If one hits on
Two
the
is
other and he
normal.
gets turned down, then it's just uncomfortable
Yeah, you
and it
gotta
wouldn't
mix
have
it up.
anybody to...
Somebody's got to be watching.
Let's
Otherwise, what's the point of having
see.
sex?
3.
Yay, we got one.
Perfect.
Question 4.
I
We're
contributed
on a roll.
nothing.
Question 4. What does the typical American eat 263 of each year?
Pieces of pizza, hopefully.
Probably like whole
God,
pizzas.
can you imagine? That'd be a good year. Oh man.
263 just slices of pizza?
No, because that's not even
Pizzas.
one a day.
'Cause I could eat 6 in a sitting.
Yeah. You want that at least twice a week.
263 of
Hamburgers?
bowls of cereal. Are we talking about poor Americans?
This is
Are we talking about people who live in Hollywood?
Are we talking about
try to make it
comics?
as-
Oatmeal.
ramen.
Shots of whiskey. That's a week. I apologize. I got
It's
my
a
numbers
food.
And it
It's a
does
food
count
group.
as food. Plausible. Eggs could be, although I
'Cause if
think
you have
I ate
eggs-
more than that.
Chicken.
I have 2 eggs every morning.
So that's
Do you
like,
seriously?
Every morning.
that's
Yeah.
over 600, 700 eggs.
But here's the thing: I eat 0 eggs a day.
So you
Pretty
cancel
much
each
across
other
the
out.
board. So yeah,
So that's
it ends
average.
up about 263.
Uh-huh.
How about a chicken? I feel like we eat a lot of chicken,
You wouldn't
But-
eat 263 chickens.
like a whole chicken.
No,
Yeah,
because you
there's
might
no
not
way-
even have chicken within a day.
Oh.
Eggs are pretty common for breakfast.
Egg sounds kind of good, but also like
Pizza
does-
slice
does
still
everybody-
sounds good, and so does like burger. I still think
See, I think we're thinking of McDonald's burgers versus like.
My
like a
answer
big
is
burger.
egg. Eggs.
I'm kind of leaning towards eggs.
All right.
I
I think we should go with the guest.
I bet you like when you factor in
It's
like
gonna be great when
eggs
it's wrong.
and stuff.
All right, this all falls on Lisa Curry's shoulders. Let's see. Eggs.
Is it? Oh,
yes. Nice.
Killing it.
That's awesome.
High five.
Yes.
Boom.
Question 5. Does Uranus, which is the proper pronunciation
Uranus.
of Uranus, does Uranus have an aurora?
Oh, I don't know.
That's crazy.
Well,
Well, here's the nice thing. It's 50-50 chance of being
Yeah,
being
it's
right.
true or false. So,
An aurora
is it caused by the Van Allen belt or it's sort of
cosmic rays hitting, the Van Allen belt.
the electrical field around the Earth, and then they hit the atmosphere and they ionize particles. And there's no atmosphere, I don't believe, in Uranus. I wouldn't think.
But I mean, it is a gas planet, so like maybe there's something that's getting smacked around by solar winds.
I don't know. I can't wait. I have no idea. No idea.
Well, I mean, you know what the Aurora Borealis is, right?
Yes.
Like, do you think that Uranus would have something like that?
Not mine.
It's been a while since I've checked.
All right, turn out the lights. Is anybody's asshole glowing?
It's hard to see Uranus at this time of night.
Again, I haven't had that many vegetables today, so I don't know.
I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say
Sure.
no.
I'll go with no.
I think it's going to be false.
It's going to be yes, and I'm pissed.
It is yes.
Perfect. We can
Yeah.
triple
Oh,
suicide.
no.
We got 2 out of 5, which is not good, but it's not the worst that we've done.
We can sink lower.
So, but we can redeem ourselves. Next episode, we got another 5 questions, and we'll just tally them all up and see how we do.
Perfect.
And maybe if we get a perfect score, then we'll get a C average. So that's something to shoot for, right, guys?
Yeah.
And now, the Energy Blues.
Super batteries, courtesy of the super carbon graphene. We all remember graphene, right? It's a very simple carbon
It's just
polymer.
our favorite thing in the world.
Yay! You can do all sorts of fancy things with it. Basically, they're making atom width sheets of carbon because you can do that, and it turns out that it has all sorts of crazy properties at that width. One of the things
You
they've
can
turned
pretty
out,
much do anything. We've seen, how many articles have we seen in the last year?
it's like super strong and super conductive, and
It's a relatively new thing. I think it was invented a couple years ago, and it's the most versatile.
yeah, basically,
Material.
here's what this guy did. He took a DVD, painted it with a liquid carbon solution, just like all these carbon atoms, just sort of.
I think he sprayed like a
Just sprayed it
coat on there.
put it into a regular DVD burner, and it turns out that this carbon polymer is a supercapacitor. It charges much faster than regular chemical batteries, and it has a high energy density. So
So
they're
we'll back
getting
up
to
a
the point-
second, though. Why did he put it in the DVD burner? Because he needed a laser to cure the graphene. So he was like, how am I going to get a laser to shine on this DVD? That's what DVD burners do, is they shine a laser on a DVD. So he just sprayed some carbon on a DVD, burned it, and then he had a graphene capacitor.
I like to think that this is just some weird burnout at his house. Not a scientist at all.
Oh, man,
what's
what can I
this
spray this carbon on? Dude, try spraying it on the cat.
I tried to buy bong, I couldn't get high.
Maybe we can make cat-sized capacitors.
Yeah, it's so I mean it was just sort of a proof of concept thing, and it turned out that this atom width thing took and held electricity really well.
So he's got other things, didn't he? Doesn't he have to burn a lattice of wires or something?
that's
into
what that's what they figured out how to do now, because obviously something just an atom thick isn't going to be that helpful. But what they did this time is they put a whole bunch of micro supercapacitors on the disk, and they're able to hold energy comparable to a thin film lithium ion battery. So they're getting to a place where this is usable, not just at that level, but they can use it, make it a little bit thicker, and because it's bendable and twistable, instead of like a AA battery that's just kunk, that's that. You can use it in a roll-up television. We can make flat screens, like super flat, and we can use it like an iPad or show things on a screen that's really thin.
Yeah.
But then it's
So-
attached to a huge fucking
I
battery.
mean, you could use it as a
Is
like
the
a
battery
wearable.
is the battery's not the only thing though that makes it so that an iPad or whatever has to be solid and flat though, right? I mean,
it's most of it. Most of the is the battery or of any laptop. There's all the other parts that are obviously you're not really able to fold and bend a computer chip yet,
right.
but we're getting to that place. I mean, we're getting to make them smaller and thinner, and this thing, you can make wearable electronics. We've been sort of talking about that becoming a thing.
And they're developing
in case you're
like-
not getting enough cancer from your cell phone.
right. If you want to just wear cancer everywhere you go.
But the biggest thing about this is that because it powers up so quick, basically, boom, plug your phone into the wall, boom, that quickly it's
the
powered
thing.
up for the
That's
entire.
With the
Incredible.
capacitor, a battery is a chemical process, so that's why it takes hours to recharge, because the electricity is turning into a chemical, and the chemicals are physically moving around in the battery and reconfiguring to hold the charge. A capacitor is electrons in two thin sheets of something, and electrons jump from one side to the other, so you can charge it in a few seconds. Basically, you fill it, more or less, it's like a bucket of electrons. You just fill it full of electrons in a few seconds, and then slowly take them out, as you use the capacitor like a battery.
You can use it for electric cars. You could fill it up in a minute instead of hours. And also, you attach this to a solar cell, and it's going to be a lot more effective. Power up during the day, and then have the electricity at night, which is our major issue with solar right now. Is it
You need
It just
tons of
takes too long.
storage.
Yeah.
And if we're doing it,
That's interesting.
at that thickness, we can stack and stack and stack and stack.
And also, because of the chemical process, they just get worse and worse over time. Every time you use them, they work a little bit worse than the time before. Capacitors, although you can break them, they generally hold the exact same charge after 10 years than they did on day one. So
That's interesting.
Forever.
Much more efficient.
So we'll have
Yeah.
to figure out new ways to break them so that people will buy more of them.
yeah, maybe that's why we'll never
Oh,
see
yeah.
this technology. Is because-
Completely.
This is the Tucker of batteries.
There are corporations out there destroying this right now.
Energizer is pissed, and they're coming after you.
Dum, 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 dum. Oh, God, no!
It's still going. It's still going.
But that's our show.
And that's our show. Thank you very much to our special guest, Lisa Curry.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thanks for having me.
I'm sorry. Are you already in bathroom mode?
No.
I've checked out, guys. I gotta
I'm
use the
like,
can right
Good night. Am I supposed to say anything else?
quick. Where? So you're Lisa Curry. Do
That's
you
me.
tour or just in Los Angeles?
I just booked a big tour, an overseas tour, but I'm waiting to hear back information,
Ooh,
which
but
I've been waiting to
which
hear back
sea?
since like
Country.
December.
Over which sea?
Supposed to be going to Greenland, Honduras, and the Bahamas.
Are that? Whoa,
Those
wait,
are not
hold on.
anywhere near
Those
each other.
are really far apart.
I know it's bogus.
Are you going to be on the plane for longer than you're going to be?
We're supposed to go. It's
Who's
only supposed to
booking
be
your
a 10,
tours for
a
you?
10-day tour, and it's with Armed Forces Entertainment. So it's with I'm going
Oh,
to
the
entertain
bases?
the troops. Yeah.
Okay, that makes more
cool.
sense.
Yeah, because you only go like 2 days. Because what am I going to keep doing the same set every day
Right.
over and over again?
I thought it was just like
And it's me in blackface.
How much of your act is in blackface?
Only the opener and the closer.
You wipe it
I
off.
slowly remove as I do my set. I slowly remove and then reapply the blackface.
So this is like sort of a one-woman show, vagina monologue kind of thing.
Sort of.
With the,
That's exactly
It's
what
like
it
the
is.
vagina monologues, except racist.
no, this is
Yeah.
this is the butthole monologues. Is you start out black and then you kind of wipe
Yeah.
it off and then you go back.
That was
No,
the.
Are you comparing black people to-
Yep, you heard that. So you
A-
can go ahead and edit
A,
that.
I wasn't. B, I'm half black, so I get to even if I was.
For the record, the black guy is the one who said that. Please don't kill the rest of us.
Scott Narver and I always had this thing like where like we both of us keep trying to get our respective groups to do things in blackface, and everyone's like, "No, that's so fucked up. You're not allowed to do that." And I'm like, "Why?" But we're making fun of it. It's satire, right?
There's a lot of ironic blackface, I feel like, going on these days. And I'm okay with it.
Where can they find you online?
You can find me on my website, which is lisacurry.net.
Yes, not
or yeah, not .com because some dead fucker owns it.
Dead soon.
Or
Lisa Curry,
you could-
gymnast.
You could read my hilarious jokes on Twitter at Lisa_Curry. Because some asshole had Lisa Curry.
Sure.
Whatever. I'm
I
rocking
feel
the
That
underscore.
same asshole?
I am on IMDb. I am Robert Chan 14, Robert Chan 15, Robert Chan 16, and Robert Chan 17.
What?
That is to say that there are 13 other Robert Chans before me.
And you reserved the next 4 just just
No,
to
that's just
stake your claim.
lazy production people putting me in wrong. Oh, I had no idea it was that same guy.
Is this the Robert?
Oh, that's
Chang?
ridiculous.
I don't know. Just try some new.
Don't
one.
ask questions, otherwise we'll seem racist.
Well,
Like
I'm
all you Robert Chans look the same.
Can you ask a black Chinese guy if he's on IMDb, or is that somehow offensive?
You can find us at thesciencejerks.com, because we got .com, or
That's
sciencejerks.com. We're on
With the
Twitter.
Science Jerks on Twitter, because there was a Science Jerks.
There was, so we will murder them and then take their skin. We're on Facebook, and you can email us, Dave at sciencejerks.com, Chan at sciencejerks.com.
I'm not sure if that's working right now, but we'll look into it.
There may be just a huge chunk of
If
mail
you emailed us and you
somewhere.
didn't get a response, I'm not sure the email is working quite right. But, we're not paid to make email work. Tweet us at the Science Jerks, or I'm at Dave Chacho.
I'm at 999 RPMs.
And we will be back with more from Lisa Curry in a few days.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, I had somebody that's like, you need to market yourself as like the next Amy Schumer, and I'm like, no, I want some other bitch to be the next Lisa Curry. I don't want to be her
How
shadow.
about the next Mark Curry? How do you feel about that?
That works.
I'm going to be a wholesome black man.